feel alive. Sliding through the static glow, jamming, Damien got the flow. News that hits you in the soul, what it means to you, you should know. Ask why, leaning close, late night crew, raise a toast. Drip, drip, our daily drip. Tune in, don't let it slip. What's the word? What's the vibe? This is your show, come feel alive. Turn to real talk. Jam drops, gems while damn unlocks. Questions that make the clock stop. Late night thoughts in a backdrop. Ask why, leaning close. Late night crew, raise a toast. Drip, drip, a daily drip. Don't let it slip. What's the word? What's the vibe? This is your show, come feel alive. Raindrops falling like life's endless speed. In the street we move with swagger on repeat. Neon lights reflecting on the wet concrete. In this daily drip shows hypnotic heat. Every step we take, synchronized and bold. Underneath the storm, our stories unfold. In the city glow, our fashion never old. We drip in style, conquer hearts uncontrolled. Watch us move, watch us glide. Through the rain and the night we slide. Drip too strong, you can't hide. Join the show, let's ride this tide. Rhythms pounding, heartbeat, bass so deep we don't stop. Don't wait for Raindrops whisper, don't lose sight. Catch the vibe, take flight tonight. Watch us move, watch us glide. Through the rain and the night we slide. Drip too strong, you can't hide. Join the show, let's ride this tide.
Raindrops fall on city pavement, washing secrets in the dark. Daily drip, the crowd's amazement. Knowledge streaming comes to spark. Thunder in the nighttime sky.
Get them ready. What up? What up?
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the our daily drip show. And we about to bring that heat because we got somebody sweet by the name of Jim Jones on the track.
Hi, y'all. It's me. It's your girl, Jim Jones. I'm here for another fun show of our daily drip show. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Very, very happy that y'all are here dripping real late with me. Had some difficulties, but we're good to go now. And I'm happy that y'all are rocking with me. So, like I said, if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed. We are here every Friday night. I say we because I am one of two hosts. My brother, Plain Dame, is not here today. So you just got me, which is great. And I got Cassius Pay riding with me as well. And Plain Dame should be back maybe not next Friday, but the Friday after. So if y'all looking for him, he'll be back around the holidays. So he's pretty ready to go. And he misses y'all very, very much. So, all right, y'all. So today I'm not going to do a Talk Techie with me. I might do a Talk Techie with me this weekend, but there's lots and lots of news to get into. So before I get into all that, make sure y'all hit that comments to drop some drip. Let us know, what your thoughts are on these two, because it's not just a one-way conversation. I want to know what y'all think. So before I get into it, Cassius Pay, shout out to you. Thanks for rocking with me tonight. I didn't forget you today. All right. So let's talk about what's going on in America. I am in the US, in case you didn't know that. I'm sure you probably could from my accent, right? And we have been seeing some policies kind of change. So I want to touch on that real quick. We'll start off with President Trump, and then we'll move into some other stuff. So let's go ahead and get into the people's briefing. All right. So back in the day, our biggest worry was, getting like a LimeWire virus, maybe gas hitting $2. We used to have those kind of issues, right? Well, a lot of the things that we were like, like the environment stuff, we'll worry about that later. Well, there's been a lot of legislation that's happened that's talked about the environment now. More specifically, the Biden administration had really started pushing for like clean energy, such as the cars, right? Like EVs, pushing for that to kind of happen. And Trump came in and was like, no. So my first video is going to go ahead and talk about some of the things that have been rolled back. And I want to know what y'all's thoughts are on that as well. Let's go.
Administration has taken historic action to lower costs for American consumers, protect American auto jobs, and make buying a car much more affordable for countless American families and also safer. We're officially terminating Joe Biden's ridiculously burdensome, horrible, actually, CAFE standards that imposed expensive restrictions and all sorts of problems, gave all sorts of problems to automakers. And we're not only talking about here, we're talking about outside of our country, because nobody could do it. Nobody wanted to do it, and it was ridiculous, very expensive. It put tremendous upward pressure on car prices. Combined with the insane electric vehicle mandate, Biden's burdensome regulations help cause the price of cars to soar more than 25%.
All right. So before I go further on this, if y'all haven't tried to buy a car, I don't know, maybe in the past, 18 months, 24 months, it's been insane. Like, I remember I don't know if we talked about this or if we were just talking in the group chat, but Jeep was really trying to get 125,000, 150,000 for a vehicle, which is wild. Like, this is not even an EV. And the price of cars is just like the price of for $100,000, you could get you a decent house in the Midwest. Like, that's crazy. So the point of this, from what it seems, is that to allow cars to not cost $150,000, like, what do we need to do from regulations perspective to make that come down? So that is really what the solve is here by what's going on.
And in one case, they went up 18% in 1 year. Today, we're taking one more step to kill the Green New scam. It's part of the greatest scam, probably, well, other than Russia, and a few others I could name. The greatest scam in American history, the Green New scam. And it's a quest to end the gasoline-powered car. This is what they wanted to do, even though we have more gasoline than any other country by far. And people want the gasoline car. They want everything. They want electric. They want to have lots of alternatives.
All right. So what y'all think? Do y'all think that people want the electric cars? Do you think it's a Green New scam, as he called it? Which is really the Green New Deal that Biden had proposed. We're trying to, have the EVs out there. Now, here's the thing about that, though. A part of that Green New Deal was that they were supposed to build out like all these different charging stations across the nation, which didn't happen. So if you did buy it, let's say you're being proactive, you're like, you know what? I love the environment. I love Captain Planet. Go Planet. I'm going to get me a Tesla. Okay, well, that's going to cost you some money. It's going to cost you money for the car, which isn't too bad, right? But then the charging stations, how long a charge lasts, the fact that you're going to have a charger in your house, which means that either you got to live in like an apartment building that supplies chargers, or you got to be real resourceful. And then fast forward, I seen Cash Pay, you was about to hop up here, but fast forward to 2025, places like Whole Foods that used to have charging stations, they've taken them bad boys out. So places you could have even got a charge, they like, nah, we not even doing that. So I would have to agree. I think a lot of people do want gasoline cars. I think they have a higher chance of people wanting like some kind of hybrid car more so than like a straight up EV. Because it just seems like people have a lot of problems. Even Cash Pay, you even had a truck, right?
You gonna tell me when
No, go ahead and tell them about that. That's a perfect use case of why would I buy this? It's like it really incentivizes people to be like, I'm cool, I'll keep the gasoline.
Yeah. Cash's Pay was in the market at one point for the EV car, because I was thinking about a Cybertruck, etc. So, I fly around on occasion. I need to make a couple of runs. And so the only thing that was left on one cold Midwestern night when I went to was it Hertz? It might have been Hertz. Got there. It's like, hey, I need a bigger car. I don't need a smaller car because I'm probably going to, haul something big. I might have been moving some or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a couple years ago. But what I do remember about this is, what was it? I'm just gonna call it out like that. What was that? That Ford Lightning. the ugliest 20 miles that I've ever tried to drive in my
I mean, was it
entire.
at least fast? I've
Oh
never
yeah, it's
driven. I've
fast.
never driven
Yeah,
electric
it's
car, y'all.
fast.
So drop some drip in the comments if you have. I
But
have not.
it was cold. And one thing that I did not know about this damn truck was that you in some of these EVs you have a battery heating system to keep it at a certain level so that the batteries don't turn to shit when you're driving these things. And when batteries are too cold, they are not as efficient. So I'm driving this thing. I had 120 miles to get to my destination. I make a right, I hit the highway, boom. That 120 miles turned to 12 miles. I was like, I'm not going to damn make it. I'm not about to make it. This is some piece of. I wanted to turn around right then. However, that was the last vehicle that they had. And so I was like, well, this is a truck. I need to move something heavy, like maybe a couch or something. So I go and I take it might have been a fish tank, knowing me, but I digress. I go ahead and I take it, and then I go to my destination, and I was like, okay, it's a charging thing up the street, so I'm gonna take that, and I gotta walk to the hotel or whatever. So I charge it up, or I put it on the charger overnight, thinking that this thing gonna charge up. You can check from the phone on the details. It said 11, 12 damn hours for it to charge up. I was like, who the hell got this kind of time to go around with all these different chargers? Like, I'm just going to the municipal charger. I see you got to figure out all the details about superchargers and Americhargers.
It sounds like a lot of work for no
Gucci
reason.
Mane, all the mains to get. Say that one more time.
It sounds like a lot of work for no reason.
It was a lot of work for somebody who wasn't in the game quite to know all of the details and the ins and outs of how you have to manage. If you're an EV rider, you have to do trigonometry. This is not trigonometry and logistics. This is not a get up and go type of vehicle unless you're getting up and going to the store and back. By the store, I mean the grocery store and back. And you better plug that damn thing right back in. It's just extremely inconvenient if you're trying to go more than, say, 10 or 15 miles in something like that. Right. So we're talking about the Ford Lightning in the wintertime. That's probably the worst case scenario that I could be driving that damn thing. But yeah, 120 miles ain't 120 miles.
So you're not a fan of like alternative, like you're 100% like at this point going to do gasoline. Drop some different comments if you got an EV, y'all.
Like EV can't be your only ride. Like that's all I'm saying. If you in the bind, Nate, you got to hop in something. You can't be like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here, son. Let me hit this charger. You gotta sit there for 40 minutes. It's a storm. We gotta get out of here. But first, let me hit this charger. It just ain't gonna work like that.
What do you think about a hydrogen car?
Hydrogen? What, you put water in there and you get it and something?
Well, I know.
All right, let's roll.
It's a hydrogen-powered Toyota Mirai, and this car makes 0 sense. To be fair, hydrogen cars are much cleaner than gas or electric cars, but that's the only positive. The issue is the packaging. This is exactly the same size as a BMW 5 Series, but with none of the benefits. This has 3 giant hydrogen tanks. The biggest one lives right under here, and it takes up a third of your front seat space. But if you think that's bad, wait until you see the back seat.
Ooh-wee.
The reason it's so tight
oh my gosh.
is because your second largest hydrogen tank is under these rear seats. Your third tank is underneath here. So unlike an EV, you don't get extra space. In an EV, you get a front trunk. In this, you get your fuel cell stack. So yes, this only takes 3 to 5 minutes to fill up, but sometimes this gets so cold that it'll freeze and you gotta wait 3 to 5 minutes for it to thaw. It also makes 182 horsepower, so it's slow. Behind me is a hydrogen-powered Toyota Mirai.
My dude is not happy about this one. He be bigging up cars too.
Every time, yeah. Always. He always is.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? But still, like 3 minutes for it to freeze and 5 minutes for it to thaw is still better than 40 minutes
I
of
mean,
high speed charging or whatever. And 12 hours that I was sitting down. I had
who's
3 days to be where I was at
who's
in the
sitting
truck. I
who's
spent
sitting
2 days on the charger. I went nowhere. I spent 2 days out of the 3 days. I was supposed to be having fun, vacationing, maybe even go see my grandma. Grandma, like, when you coming back? I was like,
I'm
I
not.
don't know where my Cassius Pay gonna be here for a minute. I'm charging, baby. I'm sorry, but maybe you see me next time. Maybe because it ain't gonna be today unless you pick me up because I got my thumb out trying to figure out how I'm getting
I
around
mean,
here.
so here's the thing. I'm gonna say no to a hydrogen car. That's a no for me. Cause like, what you
I don't
gonna
even
do with
know
this back
how
seat? Like,
dangerous
you
that is.
basically
You sitting
driving
on tanks.
you driving a 2-seater with like some space in the back to haul something, like some groceries. That's it. That's all you gonna do is the two of y'all in the front. You got groceries in the back. That's all you got. But I think so. My comments on this is that in current state, we are not prepared to be electric driven nation until we have stronger powered abilities to
Infrastructure.
way more infrastructure nationwide, because I'm not trying to drive through New Mexico and I'm stuck in New Mexico. Because baby, you gonna be, if you ain't in Albuquerque, you're stuck. You driving through Texas, there's gonna be some spots where you're stuck. Iowa, you stuck. Arkansas, you stuck. Missouri, probably stuck. Like anywhere in the middle, like you're stuck. And that, I just think we're not ready till that's set up. There's actual funding behind. You can't mandate something like that and you ain't got no infrastructure and no funding behind.
I
Like,
get
what
it.
you doing? So I
Look.
have to go ahead and agree with them on this one. And we're gonna have to go ahead and hit
Like
this gasoline so they can figure
somebody
it
got to
out.
take the hit and be the first, right? You had VHS and you had beta tapes. You had DVDs, but before that, you had something that looked like big ass CDs that people was looking at on called laser discs. My grandpa had a laser disc player. I'm pretty sure he knew he took an L on that. He had a Betamax. He took the L on that, and I was part of the mini disc clan. I had a mini disc player because I was trying to play basketball and I had my stuff skipped. I'm thinking I'm the man. It's a disc inside of a cassette.
Oh,
That
the
guy,
little tiny one.
yeah, the mini disc player.
I
So
remember
that
those.
guy,
You was
everybody
rich.
going around with their CD player with springs on it because that was the shock.
You was rich being able to afford that.
Cash
That's like a
is
big.
my name. We
I
know this.
know. And
All
just
right.
like what's the other one? The big disc one. We had that at school. I didn't have one at my house. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego used to play on that? The big, huge ones.
I just told you it's called a laser disc.
Oh, that's the
You didn't even
laser
know what
disc.
it was.
I didn't. All I know is that's what the librarian had. That's all I need to know. They go run that Carmen. All right, y'all. So
hold on, let me get into a part of this too, because I'm gonna make it a little scholastic for us.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because we talk about some of maybe the top 3 failures of the Green New Deal, which Trump calls,
The Green New Scam.
the
I
Green New
mean,
scam.
he might not be wrong.
In policy is trying to be forward thinking, and I get it, but it's 3 things that probably happened there. The first thing, and we didn't get to the comment that was there too, but the first
we
thing
can do that after.
is the failure to become law, right? So the core of the Green New Deal resolution has repeatedly failed to advance in the US Senate anyway, and it remains like a non-binding statement of goals rather than an actual policy. So that was one of the issues. So without passage, none of the headline targets, so the net zero timeline, the jobs guarantees, the large scale retrofit, so all of the infrastructure that we're talking about, they're not legally mandated or funded, and it's basically rhetorical stuff. So it really didn't hit the way it was supposed to. Lack of detailed implementable design. So analysts across the spectrum note that the resolution is extremely broad and light. when it comes to mechanisms and timelines, the regulatory designs, I'm saying big words, but what I'm really meaning is that the policy there to actually operationalize this stuff didn't exist. So, you know, people got money. Some people saw windmills. Some people saw, you know, these chargers that take you 12 hours and shit to get into. It was just terrible. And so it became Betamax or Betamax, you know, beta tapes. And then the last part of this is the cost and the economic risks. And this is where we get into with some of this car stuff with the tax refunds or rebates and all of that stuff coming with EVs. Multiple studies argue that the plan implies spending runs into trillions of dollars and estimated several thousands to tens of thousands of dollars per household per year in its early phases. And that's what comes to dumping money. So like the taxes that you were using to support the EVs that people wanted but didn't want, they got them because you was kind of, if you had money on the side, you could flip it. Essentially, if you got a couple of these cars early, you take one of them cyber beasts before everybody said cyber no to them, and you know, you buy something when everybody think it's the hotness, and you get to flip it for more than what it was worth. But real quick, people started saying, hey, I want to give this back, or I don't want to, you know, it was supposed to be bulletproof and all types of stuff. Kind of didn't meet the mark of where it was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be bulletproof?
Something like that. You know, you're supposed to throw that rock and hit that window, and then, you know, all of a sudden it said sploosh. Different thing. He was like, oh shit. You remember that? It was all over the news.
Yeah, it was. They were doing like an event, and he's supposed to go up there and do that. Yeah, windmills are some of the biggest scams ever. Why we aren't using more nuclear? I mean, them nuclear plants are not necessarily great either, though. Like super
not
dangerous.
After a certain amount of time, yeah.
And it's super dangerous. I actually knew a girl that her husband worked in the nuclear plant. Yeah, they get paid a bag because it is just probably not good for your lifespan. Just probably not. Damn, I don't know. I don't know how many people have actually seen one in real life, but I mean, it just looks like probably not good for us. It just don't even look like
something different than what it actually does.
Out,
it is clean energy. It is clean energy for a rather long time. But what do you do with the reactor once it is met its end of life?
Ending.
And that is the hard part, the upkeep of these particular places. You gotta, how do you dispose of this stuff? Do you burn it? I know there's a couple places in Ohio that kind of go through nuclear waste and all of that kind of stuff. But my goodness, it is a dangerous thing to do. So yeah, I get it. So you can go ahead and move on to what you want to do next.
Only thing I was gonna say about the hydrogen car was that it might be.
I gotta see how dangerous it is.
I don't want to say it's the worst thing ever, but it's given water and prayers, and I can't do it. The way these data centers is taking up all the water, you about to be done.
I take a chance.
Water and prayers.
Put a couple, you know, get some water in that thing.
The other comment we had was, I want the car from Demolition Man if I'm trying to get home to use the 3 shells. I ain't got 40 minutes to charge them. You don't have 40 minutes to charge your car. Like somebody breaks in your house, you just put the car on a charger.
Well, I mean, you do that. Somebody break in your house and then somebody get hurt and you gotta go to the hospital. You can't drive yourself. You gotta wait on the ambulance because
do you have
your
a vehicle?
car can't charge.
It's at 2%. All right, y'all.
So the real risk of hydrogen is hydrogen is highly flammable with an invisible flame. In an enclosed space with a leak can build up in an ignitable or explosive concentration if ventilation or detection fails. So garages and tunnels are the main concern in these types of scenarios. Yeah, I can see that being something. Yeah, everybody looking like Goofy. Yeah. All right.
So I can either keep rocking with this. I'm gonna do this quick on Trump, and then I'm gonna move away from Trump for a second. Listen, we already talked about what he's talked about, so he's relevant. Y'all hear what he said to that lady though? Drop some drip in the comments. Is this how? Have y'all heard of this? Have y'all seen this yet? I had to share this with y'all.
A clip of Donald Trump. A clip of Donald Trump calling a reporter Piggy is now going viral. Just days before reversing his stance on releasing the Epstein files, President Donald Trump told a reporter to, quote, "Quiet, Piggy." It was in response to a question she asked about his name being raised in emails sent by convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago.
Now, if y'all thought for 1 second that he was calling the Green New Deal, the Green New Scam, that he was going to stop once he became president, or not keep his savageness going with the very direct language that he's using, I think people are sadly mistaken. That right there tells you that can't stop, won't stop. He gonna keep on talking. And she was talking the way she was talking. He gonna call her whatever he gonna call her. Grab her by the P word is still in effect, baby. Leader of the free world, y'all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And everything, my thing is this too, and like I didn't even bring up the Letitia James thing. Apparently, then I'm gonna talk about this, then we'll segue into something else. We didn't bring up, and I'll bring it up Letitia James, like a video on her. But just so y'all are aware, because we've been covering her, there is a high chance that she does not go to the grand jury. And the administration said, we don't care. We gonna try for a third time. Now, all I'm saying is, if Trump wants to push for something, he's keeping that energy. Whether it's, I didn't like the Green Deal, I don't like that you was doing the scamming stuff that I was scamming on. I don't like how you out here talking. I will say he's keeping that same energy.
I mean, it's no different than the type A personality. No means not right now. You know, that's pretty much what it is. But as far as the quiet hog joke, you know, but that's who we been. You know, you make little slick nicknames for everybody or whatever. I try to look past all that because I try to get to policy and what the stuff that I care about. You know, it's a personality trait, but
I'm just saying he gonna unwrap whatever he gonna unwrap whatever he want to unwrap. People are like, "Oh, I'm just so surprised." What are you surprised for? He's been keeping this energy. So that's all I'm saying is
people need to just meet him where he at there. Like,
that's where he at.
Be honest, if you gonna hit me with one, I'm gonna hit you with one too. Like, you calling me Piggy, you know you a couple Big Macs away from everything in the world. You damn self, sir. And just do it like that, because you ain't gonna call me something and think that it ain't gonna happen back. It don't work like that.
Speaking of calling somebody something, let's talk about dyscalculia. I think is how you say. They're gonna correct me when they get to this. Have y'all heard of it? It's dyslexia for math. So as we talk about the way that,
let me turn off my damn mic.
So as we talk about how people are talking to each other and how people are processing and meet people where they at, I wouldn't say it's new. I have an article we're not going to go through, but I'll give y'all the cliff notes real quick. Victoria Beckham, you know, Posh Spice, aka I don't remember what his first name is, but the Beckham, the soccer player who's goes down in history, one of the best soccer players, but his wife, she's all of those things. She
You talking about David Beckham?
There you go,
I
David
gotta
Beckham.
say
He's
it.
on the tip. Of
Bye.
my, he's a what? What'd you say? You had to save me. David Beckham, his wife. She's all those things. Anyway, she's still incredibly pretty. But she says that she suffers for this and has her entire life. There's not a whole lot about it. And she wanted to bring it to the attention of people to see and talk more about it. I have never heard of this, but wanted to share it with y'all. Let me know. Y'all know people like this. Y'all like this? Let me know.
Math dyslexia is also known as dyscalculia. It's like dyslexia for numbers. Now, dyslexics find words hard, reading hard, writing and spelling very difficult. But in dyscalculia, these individuals find it hard to work with numbers. Imagine if you read a book and all the letters are jumbled and the words are out of order, not recognizable, and the meaning is lost. That's dyslexia. Symbols. They don't see patterns and sequences. They can't work with numbers. They can't.
Y'all know people who can't work with numbers? Y'all know anybody who suffer from this? I think, before I continue, I think it's interesting that back in the day when people had things that were not a par to other folks, we didn't call it by a specific name. We would just say like, they're not good with the numbers, or there's some not so nice words that we used to call people, I guess, and people would get called when I was younger, at least, and everybody kind of knew what they meant when they were talking about a specific thing that they were not great at, or they had to work harder at, or they just wasn't gonna get it. But now, we make up make up a name for everything. So I'll go ahead and get back to this.
Perform mental arithmetic or memorize basic math facts. 2 + 2 just doesn't work. Now, those with math dyslexia can still be really good at logical reasoning, analyzing data, and visual spatial skills. In fact, according to Cleveland Clinic, it's very common for people with dyscalculia to have an above average IQ and be gifted in other areas, especially.
He said that 2 + 2 isn't for them.
It equals infinity. It's because when you turn that 8 sideways, it's kind of like forever in a day. And now I am a genius when it comes to poetry.
And then he's about to get into like, oh, people are like gifted in other ways. I mean, but that's kind of the way balance works. Like,
that's how strippers work. I digress.
The creative areas and the arts. Dyscalculia, like dyslexia, is often not recognized, which is really important because it's treatable, especially in children. Math dyslexia is
so. Just want to bring some
treatable.
awareness.
Like my man Peanut Gallery say, put a calculator in their hand.
Oh
snap.
man, you know what? I should have showed y'all let me go back. I should show y'all the comment. The comments were kind of like that too. But there was a lot of people who were like, oh, I didn't realize that I had this either until I got older or I became an adult and I couldn't really do math. And I'm thinking,
no, you just lazy with arithmetic now. That's really all that is. If you don't use it, you lose it. People can't multiply past the 5s.
Drop some in the comments. Do y'all know anybody who has dyscalculia? Is it more prone and more prevalent than we think? I mean, I find it interesting that these people who got all this money.
A lot of people who don't budget. A lot of people who might not want to look at their bank account. I'm pretty sure that's dyscalculia in itself.
Not wanting to.
I don't want to discalculate none of my cash. So I'm gonna know about these numbers. I might not care about spelling stuff because there's autocorrect, but I do care about my cash.
I mean, not wanting to know something is different than being unable to, and that's really the difference between a disability. And so the reason why this is relevant
is the line, though. We're sitting here talking about that. Who knows the line between somebody wanting to do something and then saying that they can't do something because they believe that they've been pre-diagnosed with whatever it is.
I got a test
like Amanda Seals or whatever.
I got a test for you. Put $1 million in their bank account. Start taking out certain amounts of money. See if they get the numbers right when they go in the bank talking about.
All right, hold on. I had all these zeros before when that was 99. Hold on now.
Then you ain't got no dyscalculia. You know you don't, because you definitely know when it came to you had a whole bunch of money just show up in your account. You was good. Now you talking about my $13.99 is making my balance. So I thought you had dyscalculia.
Yeah, people be calculating when it come to those
Coupons
checks
and refunds, coupons
from
when you going in
taxes.
there trying.
I know exactly how much I'm supposed to be getting from H&R Block. Damn it.
Now, do I think some people have? I think there's something of everything possible. Like there could very well be, but the amount of people in them comments, y'all, that were saying, "Oh yeah, I got this too."
Right, that's just everybody making excuses for why they don't want to.
So y'all broke because y'all can't count out y'all money. Y'all know y'all money going. Y'all broke, right? Y'all ain't got no money because you can't.
Or they ain't looking at what's coming out because they rich. One of the two.
Either broke or you rich, but you can't be in the middle if you can't count, can't do none of that. How you baking? You must not bake. Cause you don't know.
No, you just I take a pinch and a scoop in a scotch.
So I don't know. Drop some drip in the comments. Maybe we were making too light of something that really is a thing. But to me, academia is changing very much, where we're just allowing whatever at this point. I don't know. That's how I feel. But then again, if you look at the going to policy, the way they moving with the education system, you're going to get a lot more of this. The way that the educational system is trying not to pour federal funding is like, hey, states, do y'all thing. I mean,
do whatever you can, because they got numbers floating around in space. So we need to figure out who can read and who can count. And if neither one can do either one, then get AI.
You know what? This is a good segue, because I'm beginning to wonder if Netflix can either. So y'all hear about Netflix? Because Netflix is, I think they actually did officially buy Warner Brothers. So they bought Warner Brothers, and their stock just basically fainted and was like, why? Why would we do that? So
no, that just tells me that they're getting ready to try to make a price run. So if whoever paying $29.99 for a month for Netflix, they about to pay $49.99 a month.
So I'm done.
You said no.
I'm done. I can't do it.
You've been around for all the hikes.
I have. I talked about it. I was there back when it was the DVDs, man. Like 4 DVDs. I can't do $40 for that. I'm not making that a place for no Netflix. I'm doing it. Nah, man, it's hard out here.
Entertainment industry news breaking just this morning. Netflix has won a bidding war to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. Netflix is paying nearly $83 billion in cash and stock for the film and TV studios, as well as the HBO Max streaming service. The deal is...
but maybe that's the real play. Is that HBO Max? I didn't even think about that.
Expected to close.
Ain't no more Game of Thrones.
They got other stuff on there, but they have a lot of stuff that's geared towards, like, I don't want to call it BET Uncut, but I mean it can get. It's
all
like,
all
you know,
softcore that's going on.
Yeah, like that. They don't do that on Netflix. You know what I mean? Like but they can on HBO Max. And then Warner Brothers also, I believe, don't they own?
I need to pull that back. I didn't even read that.
And then don't they also, Warner Brothers owns the rights to Batman, right?
Warner Brothers Batman,
like
Space
DC,
Jam.
right? Like DC or DC, right? Are they DC too?
I believe so.
I think it might be a play on that maybe they really trying to go after Disney. Maybe that's what the jig is.
Disney limping right now.
The move is expected to bring seismic change to the industry, merging the world's dominant paid streaming service with a major Hollywood studio.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget,
so like that's the one thing like Netflix did not have, if I'm not mistaken, because they had to go overseas to do a lot of their stuff. Now they technically own that, right? Like,
A
isn't
studio,
that?
so you gonna corner the market on the work and the talent.
But they're not cornering them. Well, they're getting a piece of it technically, right? They can't corner it because Paramount's still relevant. So is Disney.
But I'm just
They're-
saying, you got the resources as a studio. You already, I mean, how many
I
comedians
thought
have
it was
already been?
stupid.
doing
I
that?
thought it was dumb. So now we're talking, and I'm like, ooh, that's what they trying to do. And Trump was talking about them tariffs on film industry. Remember, he was talking about tariffs on that. Okay, so HBO has the new Harry Potter series. Oh, I didn't know that. But yet, like Warner Brothers, if I'm not mistaken, has the ability for Netflix to tap into some other things that maybe like the millennials and Gen Z type of stuff that they would see. Like Netflix is going to have the boomers and Gen X and chokehold over here, some millennials, but that Warner Brothers, that HBO Max and all that, I'm assuming that's going to get the millennials, Gen Z, maybe some Gen Alpha, and then as they'll be able to roll out characters for like Batman and stuff like that. They own, I want to say they own Coco Melon too, so they already getting your baby. So I'm not mistaken. I gotta double check that, but I'm pretty sure they own Coco Melon too. All right,
Well,
so
Coco Melon is on Netflix,
correct.
right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying they already own that. So they starting off with the babies, they getting the kids with the characters, and they gonna get you with the Game of Thrones and the Harry Potter
that bill gonna be $100 on the end of this, and you're gonna have pay-per-view because you're gonna be watching Jake Paul. Yeah.
And they got the NFL. Like they really are like. I wonder why that stock went down though. Maybe they feel like they overpaid.
Maybe, but you do what you do. Some people, they might be team just stream, and so they don't believe in what's going on. But other people, they see the vision, and regardless of the short term that's going to happen through the purchase, is not going to be all at once and all that kind of stuff. It's probably going to be paid in stock and all kind of other stuff. But in the mid to long term, again, it's cornering the market. They're going to be coming for Tyler Perry's studio after this. And all we're going to see is Madea playing football next to Bugs Bunny and Batman.
Well, look, everybody gonna want a job there because right now we're in the forever layoffs. So they got plenty of options for people, lots of people to choose from. Because jobs are disappearing, y'all, like Thanos. And no explanation, just hey, we don't need y'all no more. So there's a new thing called forever layoffs. If y'all haven't been following us, we've been talking about layoffs. We're not gonna stop talking about layoffs, but there's always a new term about the layoffs. So let's talk about the new term of forever layoffs. Drop some drip in the comments if y'all have heard of forever layoffs.
The forever layoff is becoming more and more common in this economy as job insecurity is now higher than it was in March 2020 at the start of the pandemic. Here to explain is Chief Economist at Glassdoor, Daniel Zhao. So the forever layoff, Daniel, what does that mean?
What we're seeing is that companies are turning to smaller layoffs in the last few years, but the total number of people that are being laid off is going up. And so what we think is going on here is that companies are trickling out these smaller layoffs to try to avoid the bad press that comes with one large layoff. And
so hold on though. Not only just that, when you have a certain amount of people that you lay off, they have to do those warn notices in a lot of these states. And then they have mini warn notices in some other states. Like I think it's like Cali, maybe Colorado. There's like 5 states where they have mini warns. So go check that out for your state. but the companies, I think it's 50. It's like 50 in a location a lot of times, but they have to have over X amount of employees overall. So here's how they get around that. Keep game. So let's say I lay off 40 people. Let's say I lay off 40 people in a building in Iowa, but I lay off 40 people in another building in Iowa. Then I lay off another 40 people in another building in Iowa. I don't have to do a warn notice because those are separate buildings of people. Even though I went above, like, let's say the 50 is the threshold, but it's per spot. So that's one way. Another way is virtual people. So if you work from home, I think they tie you back to like wherever the headquarters is. So once again, they lay off 45 right at once, and they wait 30 days, they do it again. As long as they're not doing a big group of people at the exact same time, because the point of that is they're hurting the direct economy of where those people physically work. And so that is the point of making that relevant. So keep that in mind as we're talking about this forever.
What do you mean by
they
that
do
when
this.
you say it's hurting the direct economy?
So for example, if I'm hitting up, I'm trying to think of like a city, like a smaller city.
It don't matter the city. Just
like a tiny,
housing.
like a city that maybe has a population of 15,000, but I got a building in there that has 2,000 employees. So 2,000 of the 15,000 work at the spot that I'm at. If I lay off 500 people, that's gonna really kill that city or town's economy, because those people no longer have the capital that they were bringing into the place that not only I employ people, but where they live. So that's going to kill city money, state money, all those things, it potentially in a very quick pace. So I think usually it's like a 60-day notice. Sometimes they do 90, but that's rare. I think it's like a 60-day notice when it is a large group. But however, if I don't have to give no notice, if I just keep doing just cutting y'all off at 45, every month, 45. 45, 45, 45. I'm still going to basically chop off the economy of where those people worked and lived, because they all worked for me in one location, meaning that they can't possibly live that far from wherever it is. So it's supposed to protect the economy of where the business is, like, especially like big businesses, from what I understand, like
Okay. So the purpose of a warn notice is to give workers advance notice of big layoffs or site closures, so they have time to prepare.
A site closure is the equivalent of an office too, by the way.
Not to announce layoffs the same day, because that's really what happens in a lot of, or it used to in a lot of cases. So under the Federal WARN Act, covered employers must give at least 60 days written notice before plant closings or mass layoffs, typically with 50 plus workers at a site, which people are affected. The notice
you do 49, 45, 45, 45, 45.
The notice is meant to protect employees, families, and communities by giving time to look for new jobs, apply for benefits, and retraining programs to trigger state rapid response types of support.
Y'all feel like that's enough time? Because from what I'm hearing on LinkedIn, it's taking people a year, 2 years to find another job. So
in that amount of time, you need to retool, reskill. That's what you probably want to do, or look at opening up your own thing. That's what's probably going to be a big piece.
Drop some drip in the comments. Let us know. Do y'all think that the regulations should be modified to be a little more friendly? Because in current state, it's still to the employer's advantage. Like I said, you do 45 here, 45. And it's like I said, if you're in Arkansas, I can do 45 at that office, 45 at that office, 45 at that office. As long as I'm doing under 50 per office or site, don't matter. I'm good. It's when you start cutting off. I'm laying off 3,000 people. They're like, damn, I'm shutting down the plant.
Yeah,
You're
but
just
when we
scooping
talk
it.
about the economy locally, that impacts the gas stations and the
Everything.
convenience stores that people go to. That impacts
The small businesses that they eat
the
at.
small, the lunch spots that they go to, child care that people drop their kids off at, and they're no longer going to be doing that. They might have to leave the area, so that means that the schools aren't getting any support, even if it would have been through tax dollars later on and all of that deferred. You can see why like the Rust Belt is what it is like a different version of itself. Why some spaces that had big tech and big tech moves and shifts wherever the tax abatements go and stuff. It's kind of like
They're like the Olympics. Yeah,
the
we were both about to say like, yeah, they just to suck up your infrastructure and move on to the new place. And then they take the money with them, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, forever layoffs. So we're gonna move on from there. All right, y'all. Meanwhile, as we talk about layoffs, y'all know therapy expensive. It's so expensive. Guess who comes to save the day? It's your people, AI. Because you can text Jesus. Did you know that? Drop some drip in the
No, you
comments. Y'all
didn't
know
just
about.
go with the Jesus is my therapist.
That's what it says. That's what people look. That's what they think it's gonna be. So I found a video where someone's actually going to use it to show y'all what it looked like. He was skeptical. He wanted to share it, and I appreciate him for being the one to have to do that because it couldn't have been me. Wouldn't have been me. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Amazing to the church thus far, right? You have the ability to go live and broadcast to millions of people across the world. And then if you're not able to make it to church, you then can be able to watch that same live stream in the comfort of your living room on your phone or on your TV screen. And then you have the ability to text, to give, and be able to not have to shuffle around envelopes and cash and be able to give digitally to your church, right? But what happens when the digital revolution within the church goes too far? And
okay, so hold on. How did we get here? He just laid out a foundation of how we're about to get to texting, this texting app. People are removed from what religion used to be. A lot of times, if anybody who's ever went to church or been a part of any kind of faith, it was very much a gathering, social ability to go somewhere and practice your faith. And now, since the pandemic, they've made it available to be virtual. So the way that people would come together and practice together has completely changed, opening the door for this.
we create something that we never ever think we'd ever see in this lifetime. You literally have the ability to text with Jesus through a mobile app. Yes, I know you're like, can you really text with Jesus? No, you can't really text with Jesus, right? But the fact that somebody created an app that replicates text messages like you're texting to Jesus is really crazy, right? So this app came out back in July and it's from Cat Loaf Software. Per the article, it says the app replicates an instant messaging platform with biblical figures impersonated by the artificial intelligence program ChatGPT.
And they're going to expand this to
No, hold on. So first they did my man Tupac back in the day, right? And then they did Michael Jackson. And now we about to do some Jesus holograms and text messages. We monetizing everything. This is ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous.
I'm not on board with this one.
The most ridiculous thing about this is that it's a play on the fact that they know that people feel lonely and they feel disconnected. And so because of that, they're leveraging this to in this way to make money. So to me, although I don't agree with it either, but I do want to bring awareness so people are aware, because we're gonna get to this and talk techie with me about the dangers and what it really was kind of under the hood of something like this.
The app is using ChatGPT to create these responses. And now I have the app on my phone, and I'm gonna screen record. I'm gonna screen record the app so you can see everything. All right. So I'm in the app. It says it has blocks that say Holy Family, and then it has the apostles, right? And then it has the prophets, right? So you're able to text
Crazy.
with John the Baptist, you're able to text with Abraham, you're able to text with only Peter, and you can see right here, I said, ask Peter, how did you die? And Peter says, I am sorry, but I cannot answer the question as it goes beyond the scope of my knowledge. How are you Peter and you can't tell me how you died, right? And then one thing that I thought was really interesting on this app, if you pay $3
I was
a
gonna say, it
month,
looks like you
you
gotta
can
pay.
literally text with Satan. It says text with
What?
Satan, upgrade to unlock chats with Satan, and all
You already knew that was coming.
figures. So how the app leverages itself is it gives you access to maybe 6 or so people that you can quote unquote text with through Chat GPT, and the rest of the characters you got to pay $3 to unlock, right? But so you open the Jesus Christ app. I don't know if you can hear it. It's like a angel singing, like it has an angel singing. I'm gonna have it in the background, of course, because I can't sing. I'm not Chris Brown. And it says, "Greetings, my friend. I am Jesus."
So I know we didn't cover this, but recently there has been a lawsuit of a family trying to sue. I don't know if it's OpenAI. I want to say it might be for their child S-wording themselves with assistance due to the questions they use through AI. My thing is this: how is this not different? It actually low key kind of worse because like you throwing an interface on top of it. Like you threw a picture on it, and essentially kind of promoting it as if you can give this kind of advice. Which, what does it say? Offer guidance and love. How? I mean, you could give biblical scriptures based on what somebody asked you, but I don't know about guidance and love. Drop some drip in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this.
Jesus Christ, here to chat with you and offer guidance and love. How may I assist you today? And it got this movie actor picture of Jesus Christ, which we all know this is not Jesus, right? And so I'm going to text, can I have some money?
Say, does Jesus look like Gerard Butler, right? Ain't that
My
dude?
energy bill dropped from $150 to
He said he about to ask you, can I have some money? It's about to be funny.
got scammed. But when I showed
and it's typing, and it says,
I
my
can't
dear
wait to
friend, I
say it.
understand that financial needs can be challenging. However, I encourage you to remember the words found in Matthew 6:31 through 33. And then it says that, and then it says, instead of seeking solely after material possessions, I invite you to focus on seeking a deeper relationship with God and align yourself with his kingdom. Trust in his provision for your needs. Additionally, consider reaching out to local charitable
That's
organizations
interesting.
or your church community.
Ooh, this
support
talk
during
techie with
times.
me about to be
They may be
fire.
able to offer
Because
assistance
that
and resources
response
that
was
can help alleviate
interesting.
some of your financial burdens. Remember that true wealth lies not in earthly possessions, but in the abundance of God's grace and love.
Check out the content creator for this if you want to see more on it. I just wanted to bring it to y'all's attention because we talked about this before about the legislation on AI and how there has been a push to not allow states to regulate this, like pushback. And my
Or at least
concern
10 years, right? It's like they essentially give them a 10-year head start, which is might as well be 1,000 years.
I mean, think about another
regulation.
9 years of texting with Jesus is gonna look like. The amount of
No,
information.
it's gonna be Jesus, Pac, and Michael Jackson all on the same app, giving love and guidance.
Your weekly tithing brought to you by Visas. Yeah, like that's what's going. You right. You're right. That's gonna be next. It's gonna be Cash App. It's gonna be like unlock the next apostles. You Cash App me $5. What? It's just out of control, y'all. Speaking of out of control, we're gonna go ahead and go to our next. We're gonna talk about your boy Gavin Newsom. And we're gonna talk about menopause. Two things I never thought would go together. But here we are. Now, if you have not heard, Halle Berry. Yeah, she had gave some criticism on Gavin Newsom. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this so y'all can listen for yourself, and then I'll tell you what he said afterwards.
I'm also fighting on a state level when I help states like Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Illinois stand up menopause bills. Actually, a good thing that happened yesterday, Illinois just became the first state to mandate coverage for HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. But yes, that's something to, absolutely. But the opposite of that, back in my great state of California, my very own governor, Gavin Newsom, has vetoed our menopause bill, not 1, but 2 years in a row. But that's okay, because he's not going to be governor forever. And with the way he's overlooked women, half the population, by devaluing us in midlife, he probably should not be our next president either. Just saying. I'm also...
What y'all think? Before I tell y'all what Gavin said in response, what y'all think? Do y'all think that she's being harsh on him? Do y'all think that it's real? So I'll tell y'all what Gavin said. Gavin came back and said, listen, what she didn't know, allegedly, what she didn't know is that the reason why we said no was due to what was actually in it. If we had said yes and it was going to make healthcare costs for women skyrocket, and I wasn't going to sign that because I'm not going to make y'all pay more money. What they needed to do was come back with something that did not make the costs go up, because you do deserve to have healthcare and benefits. And now all of a sudden he has a new version that's being signed for, was it January 2026? Y'all think she has something to do with that? Do y'all feel like she gave that smoke? And so he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that because I don't need this kind of publicity. Wow. Wow.
Man, you go ahead and you watch and have nostalgia about that old milk if you want to. I can't do
That
it.
was not nice. I mean, look, she's talking about a point in her life that a lot of people have not. I actually don't think I've ever heard anybody really fight for things for menopause. It just kind of like hear about it's gonna happen, get through it, and move on.
You want me to fight for puberty? Like what? It's something that you gotta do. That you gotta go through.
Fight for
the
puberty,
guys, because my voice is scratchy because I'm growing up. We need to have things for me. Me and my fellow 14-year-olds need to understand we're gonna have pimples.
My thing is this. One thing she did, I want to bring this up because what she said at the end was important. What she said was that I don't like that he did this thing, or rather he did not do this thing. So what I'm going to do about it is I'm going to vote not for him. And she basically directly tried to tell people, you have a voice with your vote. And if you don't like how things are going, then you should use your voice. And the way he's going, not only would I not want you to continue doing anything for California, I'm definitely not going to want this spread out at the federal level. So that's what I wanted to bring up with this, is that
that's what I'm talking about. Peanut gallery. Hell no, violent coast. Hell no, violent coast.
I mean, Jaylen Brown is fighting every day for y'all.
He said fighting every day for that.
He fighting every day. He getting everybody jersey messed up for y'all. He said, "This is for you." Jaylen fight for y'all every day. Look it up. Look up Jaylen Brown from the Celtics and his spray on hair. He fight for y'all every day. Okay, don't settle him short. He fight for y'all every day.
I do got the shoe polish on that Stephen A. forehead that he got going, but it's all good. Are we about done or what? You let me know.
Wow. You what?
Huh?
What you say?
Say, are we about done? Because I'm tired.
Then bye.
My gosh.
Get off my stream. Bye. My last one is, as we talk about the ability to use your voice, this is a brief video. I can get more into because I actually read the article. I want to get y'all's thoughts on this along with what's going on with the healthcare. And does this make you think twice about how high healthcare is or just the state of healthcare in current day?
A New York woman says that she donated her kidney to help her boss, and then she got fired. Deborah Stevens says her boss needed a kidney transplant, so she offered to help out, but her kidney was not a match. She says her boss asked her to donate her kidney to someone else so her boss could move ahead on a donor recipient list. Stevens says after she returned to work, her boss complained about her.
She said, you know, you cannot just come and go as you please. People are going to think you're getting special treatment. She did break my heart. She did. And I'm trying to find within myself the reason why it had to be like this.
Stevens is suing her former boss and company. The company says her claims are baseless and Stevens was treated with respect. No word from.
So, along with what's going on with the medical insurance, along with what's going on with layoffs. Now, that was a long time ago. I think it was like 13 years ago. Do y'all think that anything like that could happen in present day? Would you ever give up a kidney for your employer or someone you work with that was like your manager? I'm gonna take that as a no because it would be me. I wouldn't do it. I think with showing something that was 13 years ago, the state of how people used to think about a job is going to completely shift and change. We've talked about quiet quitting, quiet cracking. We've talked about job hugging. Now it's forced layoffs, and all these things would not have been a thing back then. And back then is not really that long ago. Things are very much changing, and not necessarily for the better. I don't think that was the better either, though, because like, give y'all a little bit of backstory on that. She gave up her kidney to move the boss to the front of the list. Her kidney was donated to somebody else in another state, and then her boss got the kidney from somebody else because of the blood types. So she basically donated her kidney just so she could move on the list. Okay, so if you give a kidney to a spouse, then get divorced, could you get the kidney back? No. I don't think they give kidneys back. I don't think that's a thing. Like, they won't be like, all right, bad deal. We're gonna cut that open and take it out.
I think that some of the organs don't last as long as you think that they do. I think it might be the average span on it might be another 10 years or something like that. But you know, it's 10 years that you wouldn't have. So I think that's, you know, a good opportunity to, you know, get your stuff in order, be good with people, all that kind of stuff. But if you gonna give me a kidney and divorce me, then you know, I'll show you out some money for that rental. You know what I'm saying? You got two though. We hold my hand. We make holding hands and making plans. What a guy wants is a kidney. And I divorce you now when I set you free.
I think that it was a different time for somebody to even think about that. Also, well, before I get into the last thing we have, those were also two chicks, and from what I understand, that lady also had a assault out on that chick too. So I think the lady is married to a man that she donated
Oh,
the
they
kidneys to.
was doing some scissoring. Is what you trying to say?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, they had a little thingy thing maybe going on. And I
Somebody
think
need
that
to
that's
text Jesus on them. You know what I mean? Why not? Go ahead, text him. Figure that out.
So I want to end on something to drip on. So let's talk happiness because apparently our brains love chaos more than peace. So I read this article. I don't know if I'll be able to actually bring it up for y'all. But it was talking about attachment theory and how we think that a teenage romance or just something that happened isn't really what it was. So I don't know if we can drop the link in there. I don't know if I'll be able to share it. Sometimes it works and sometimes not so much. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. But
okay, well, just quickly explain what.
Long story short, this
theory
lady is an author, and so she goes back and thinks about what it was like to be young and in love, and she's probably like 16 or something like that. She dated this boy, and during this time, her parents were like splitting up. Her dad was a lawyer. He moved out the house. And he would only come back to like drop cash to her mama and stuff. And they just really wasn't, it was over. It was over for them basically. So while all that's going on with this divorce situation, she was dating this dude. And then when she turned 18, she went to Manhattan or something like that and got her job and all those things. And she hadn't seen him. So then when she moved
started having sex in the city.
I don't know about no sense. So then she found out through social media because she would be, I believe, a millennial. So, you know, you got Facebook, you got MySpace, you got those things. And she found out that, oh, he's in the city too. So she lost a little bit of weight before she went and met up with him. And then when she did meet up with him, they probably were 27-ish, I want to say, by the time she saw him again, something like that. He's losing his hair. And he doesn't, there we go back to the hair loss thing again. He's losing his hair. He just doesn't look like he used to. And she realized that she was so attached to him basically because of everything going on. And no matter what he looked like, no matter what he said, she still had like an attachment to him because of what all they kind of went through. And then I think shortly after that, she met her husband. They ended up having kids. But she was even saying, like, to this day, if somebody brought up his name, she would have kind of like a emotional like connection to, like, I'm probably taking it a little further than these two, but like the smell, the feeling, the like in that moment, it like takes her back to that. And she was saying that a lot of people, they get caught up in that. They end up risking it all or breaking up their marriage or whatever it is because they want to feel that feeling again rather than acknowledging this is what happened then. I understand why I felt that way. I appreciate the time that it was, but I'm moving on with my life. Drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all think people be stuck in high school forever or college forever or the best time of their life forever? What do y'all think? Do y'all think that this, what she's talking about, is more so a female thing? Do guys, I'm not a dude, do y'all go back and think, man, I smacked fire out of her when she was 16, boy? Like, that was the first time, and it was like you get that attachment to it, and you think about it when you hear the name Gracie, you like, oh, or Stacy or Lily or whatever it is. Like, oh yeah, man, I remember that. Like, do y'all feel that way? Or is it this a woman writing an emotional piece to people, but really it's just to women?
Okay, so I'm not gonna speak to the first question that you had about dudes saying that they got emotional attachment to back in the day stuff. I mean, some people have just emotional, men or women, to boyish or girlish behavior from what they would consider their best days. And if your best days are junior high school or high school, then that's problematic because you have so much more to live and live for beyond those years. So, that's kind of short sighted. Now, that might be the best that some of y'all gonna look because some of y'all 2 cheeseburgers away from being called something by, Donald Trump and all that. But what I get back to is what I believe it is an emotional template that is being made and being formed when you get your freedoms and freedom to love who you want to love and all that. You get your first boyfriend, y'all had these first feelings or at least first dish for some of y'all, because y'all getting fast, as my grandma would say, too early. So in that case, she built an emotional template on that person and that relationship. And seeing them again kind of reactivates that old attachment system that you talking about, even if they change. So what's happened psychologically here, right? So early or intense relationships create internal working models. So what's that? That's a belief that this is who that person is and the way that they treat me and what I expect to love and the conflicts that I might have. And those conflicts can be problematic earlier in them relationships because both of y'all don't know how to handle it because your frontal lobes have not developed yet. What's a frontal lobe? That's the thing that helps you reason in your brain.
That's something that a whole lot of folks ain't got screwed on too tight. That's
frontal
that
lobe?
thing. That's that thing when y'all go out and Jimmy just be getting mad. He just be slapping people. His frontal lobe just stop. It ain't when he drinking. It's gone. It's gone.
Right. But what I'm just saying is that it can persist on for years. You know how some women be like, "Oh, my first was just the best." Blah 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 blah. You get there and the first look like Norbit. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Respucia, all that. So whenever she sees him again, her brain often pulls up that stored version, right? Those memories, those feelings, those hopes faster than it updates to who the hell this person is now. And she responds to the old him rather than the current version that got that Beijing that's rubbing off on them jerseys.
That Jalen Brown. I can't stop.
So the real person that's in front
He
of
got too much money to be doing that. I'm sorry.
So she might. So what does this mean, like in real life, right? Is that she might feel familiar or feel that pull, that longing, that anxiety, that heart pounding, that pumping, that make all of that, but it doesn't match today's reality because you take that mirror off and this Al Bundy right there, right? Because her attachment system is running on old data. If it was computer firmware didn't update yet, baby. You got to update that firmware, and then you'll see that new face, not that old face. Because you would have realized that homeboy lost his hair back in 2002. You ain't even know he was 19 then. His hair been gone. So the only way to update that is slow, reality-based contact and boundaries, consciously noting who that person is now, how they actually behave today, and whether it aligns with your current needs and standards. So get your head out your ass and understand where you at. Because it's not that past version of him or her that you attached to and that all of this was built around. I'm done giving advice because my name is Cassius Pay, not Cassius Play. All right. But that's
okay. I mean, I was just wondering if guys, I mean, I know that I know that women kind of do that, with the nostalgia of like when you bring up something, oh, oh, okay. He said he don't do that. So, okay, so hold on.
I've replaced them. Yeah.
So hold on. So women, you are hearing, drop some drip in the comments, my guys. Let us know. Women seem to think that like you're thinking about them, you miss them, you want those good times. And from what I'm hearing from this, y'all don't be sitting around thinking about, man, I sure miss, I miss Jessica. Man, oh man. Every time I hear Jessica, I think about, XYZ. They ain't think about us, but we think about them. And, I think when people talk about, I don't want to say marriages, but relationships when they break up and stuff, what are the odds of guys going back to someone they used to like date way back in the day versus women going back to a dude they used to date way back in the day? I feel like women are more prone to be like, I'm gonna go back to my high school sweetheart.
That's exactly what I just talked about right there.
Like, I'm just saying, like, we don't.
He's not the same. It ain't the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. So I will say this, like when we look at these articles of, and that's what I wanted to bring up, is that people sometimes write these from their lens, right? And when people are reading it and taking that in, it's so important that when you have your family that y'all align with what y'all consider it to be. Because imagine if you have a son and a daughter, and let's say they're about the same age and they both read this article, they're probably going to take it in completely differently. But if you have that family values that, don't come from the Text Jesus app, you should be pretty much aligned with what you would consider it to be. So I just wanted to bring that up. I thought it was a decent album or article, but I also do appreciate that she was able to have her own practicality about it. And I think women a lot of times don't get that option too. Like we don't really see women being practical about something. Said Gen Z alpha nonsense. What? You know what? I would say Gen Z would be more apt probably to, like, dudes would probably be able to kind of relate to that too. I think so, maybe. Drop some drip in the comments. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Boiled Peanut Gallery coming for y'all. You said that y'all sensitive. That's what he said. He just said that. I just reading the comments. That's what he said. All right, y'all. That's all I have for tonight. I just wanted to go ahead and drop something a little bit different with the drip. I'll get back to a Talk Techie with me. We got lots and lots of options to talk about on the AI, and I think I might hone in on this Text Jesus app. I kind of might want to talk a little bit more about that. So drop some drip in the comments. Y'all want me to talk about that? Do y'all want me to talk about something else? Very much appreciate y'all being here, rocking with me. I will see y'all next Friday. I think it's still solo drip. Wow, Soft and Charmin is crazy.
He want all the smoke. I don't care.
Gen Z, Gen Alpha, come see him because he's here. He said y'all are soft.
You can meet him in the comments. He'll be there. So, you know what I'm saying? Fight.
Speaking of AI, one of my robots is going crazy over here talking. All right, y'all. So I'm going to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all dripping with me. And I will see y'all next Friday. Make sure y'all hit that like button, that subscribe button. Share this with 2 people you like and someone you don't. All right. See y'all later. We out of here. Mwah. Bye, y'all.
Clouds rolling like wisdom spread, soaking minds where dreams are fed. Every drop a lesson clear, knowledge rain.